Howdy folks, I'm Humble Horary, honorably helping helpless houseflies.
I'm Amber.
And here are more helpless houseflies for us to help. Well, though the help that we're offering them isn't help at all. What we've really done is we've frozen them and turned them, tied strings around them and put them into little tiny fly harnesses so that we as a butterfly can use them as a little tiny like reindeer flies to cart our big gigantic flying butterfly mobile around. I don't know.
This is getting very twisted.
It is.
Just leave it to Brian.
You're welcome. And folks, as you can see, Amber's here today. We
Yes.
are on day 2 of Amber's book release week.
Yes, we are. And also day 2 of Still Have a Good Microphone.
Yes, still broken. Still need to get it replaced. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Boyfriend at the Bar After He Told the Waitress That I Was His Sister as a Joke? Okay, so this happened last weekend, and I'm still getting heat from my friends and even my mom for how I handled it. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I've been dating a 27-year-old male for about 8 months. Things have been mostly great, and he's charming, cute, and a little cocky at times, but whatever. He has this habit of joking about not being serious with me when we're around other people. At a party once, he introduced me as a friend of a friend. Another time, he pretended that he forgot my name in front of a college buddy. Every time I've brought it up, he's brushed it off as a joke. Well, anyways, we were out with a few of his friends at this bar, and it was pretty packed, and the waitress was definitely flirting with him, smiling a little too hard, touching his arm, that kind of thing. I wasn't too bothered at first. He can be friendly and doesn't always realize when someone's hitting on him. But then I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, I heard the waitress laughing and saying, "Oh my goodness, seriously?" and asked what was so funny. And she said, "Your brother is hilarious." I looked at him, and he smirked and said, "Yeah, I told her you're my sister, just messing with her." I didn't laugh. I said, "Cool." I grabbed my stuff, and I walked out. I took an Uber home and he didn't follow me, but he texted me saying that I was being dramatic and that it was just a joke, and I haven't seen him since. Now his friends are messaging me saying that I embarrassed him, and even my mom said that I should have just played along instead of storming off like a child. She said that guys do dumb stuff sometimes, and if I want to keep a man, then I need to pick my battles. I don't know, it just felt icky. Like he was trying to downplay our relationship or seem available for attention. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. OP, tell him the relationship was a joke and you're out of here.
Yeah.
Like, the way he's acting, it seems like he wants to keep his options open, or wants to show OP how trivial she is in his life. It's one of those sort of things. Either way, it's not good. He doesn't respect you. If he had genuinely meant it as some weird joke and then you said, "Hey, I don't like this," he would have been like, "Oh, okay, sorry, I'll stop." A partner who respects you will do that. The fact that he continues to do this, knowing how much it hurts OP, shows how little regard he has for her.
Well, I think this is the key here, I think, is that he is trying to downplay the relationship, right? He wants to keep his options open so that he can play the field if better options come up, right? And like, if you're in an exclusive relationship, then you need to be exclusive in that relationship, right? And it seems like he's trying to skirt around that and trying to normalize, get hitting on and flirting with other people, even though this isn't something that OP really likes. So I think that it's kind of, it is kind of icky, right?
It is. And I also don't buy that he doesn't get that people are flirting with him. I think he's just using that as an excuse. "Oh, really? You mean she was flirting with me?"
Yeah, I mean, if he is the way he is, if he's overly cocky, then I doubt he's assuming otherwise. He probably is like, "Haha, yeah, I'm getting more women to hit on me," right?
Right. I mean, I would imagine he's more the kind of guy who assumes that every woman who smiles at him is flirting with him.
I didn't know that they were flirting with me. Oh, how could I possibly have known this? I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe we're reading too much into this. But, I mean, it just kind of feels like that's not the case. What do you think of the mom's advice?
I think that the mom needs to butt out of OP's dating life. I don't think it's helpful advice. And there is a time and place for picking battles. Like, I do think that's important, but that's like over small stuff. This is not a small thing. Like, it may feel small, But it's a repeated pattern of behavior that trivializes and belittles OP's role in his life, and repeatedly shows that he lacks respect for her.
Yeah, I also think that maybe she doesn't understand the full scope. And because this isn't the first time, it's not the
Mm-hmm.
second time. This wasn't even a misunderstanding. This is a repeated pattern of behavior where he basically denies being in a relationship with OP. And in this particular case, it was with another woman who was clearly interested in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like this is more or less like him, that OP shouldn't have played along because it would have given the illusion that he was indeed single and available. I don't know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Boyfriend No to an Invitation to an All-Inclusive Resort Getting Engaged because his mom will be there? I'm a 25-year-old female and my boyfriend, a 27-year-old male, have been in a relationship for 8 years. We have been planning to get engaged for the past year and the ring just arrived by mail. Yes, we picked it out together, but the plan is that he would execute an actual proposal. He's always said the proposal would be a small thing and didn't want anything extravagant or in public, which I agreed to. Before we began picking out the rings or ordering the ring, we were talking about going on vacation with his mom. This vacation would be the first for him and his mom, and they want it to be international. I was in agreement with this, as there was no issue between myself and his mom, and they are really close. By close, I mean it's a pattern where he'll put her word above mine, him agreeing to her wishes, my opinion being put on the back burner. Yes, a mama's boy. But it's not the issue at hand, as I love them both and accept this about them. This just helps with the context of the situation. We all went together to get our passports and are now planning on going to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. As far as I was concerned, I thought that the proposal would happen sometime before or after this vacation. Today he mentioned wanting to propose while we're on vacation with his mom, and I feel like this would, one, make it so that we're unable to enjoy a romantic time together with his mom present. Two, cause it to be uncomfortable for her, as we may not spend as much time with her since we would be celebrating. Three, her praise for her son may overshadow our celebration and divide his attention. I was very clear about not wanting his mom to be there and said that there would be no other way that he would want to propose because he wants it to be somewhere extravagant and away from where we live. His idea is that for the most part, she would be doing her own thing while we spend time together. I brought up the fact that if she wanted to do something without him, she would be going on vacations on her own. I also mentioned that my expectations are not that we need to be doing something special, and if he was open to it, to get engaged before and keep the vacation separate and make it part of the celebration. He was not open to this idea either, so I offered not to go to save money on the trip and plan something different for us, and now he's upset. I really just want this to be a special moment between the two of us that we can share with our friends and family after the fact. His mom being there just makes it seem like I'm taking time away with her son from her, or she's going to be taking away the joy on my engagement celebration. If this vacation was separate from the proposal as planned, I would be so down to go. So Reddit, am I the jerk for not wanting to go if he plans to propose? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, but OP, I would seriously rethink the idea of getting married to this man. I think you have gotten a look into your future, and it's one where your concerns matter very little, and all that matters is having a good time with his mom. I think that you are significantly downplaying and not understanding the scope of how much his relationship with his mom is going to affect your future going forward. Like, if you don't like this now, you're not going to like your honeymoon. Like,
Well, I mean, hopefully they're not bringing the mom along on the
oh, the
honeymoon.
mom is going to be going on the honeymoon. Like, I can see this way ahead. He's not setting boundaries with his mom now. He's using a vacation with his mom to propose when he had before said that they were going to do something low key and small. Now it has to be grand, and he can't imagine proposing any other way. He's not taking OP's wants into consideration. Like, the person he is proposing to is OP. OP's concerns should be the only ones he's concerned about in this respect. Like, if OP is saying, hey, I want a low-key proposal before or after the vacation, he should be like, oh, yeah, sure, we can do that, because he should be getting married to OP. But no, this is about doing something for his mom, basically.
Yeah, do you think he's trying to like impress his mom or include her in on the actual proposal or something like that?
I think there's a couple possibilities. One is like having his mom be part of this, and that's why I see his mom being part of all their big events going forward.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't not have her on her honeymoon. Oh, we can't not have her in the delivery room. Oh, we can't not, and then it's just him and his mom all the time.
Yeah.
Or the other possibility is that he's talked to his mom, and his mom has explicitly made it clear that she wants to be there, and so he's going to do everything he can to make sure that that's a reality.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew their motives behind this, but I do think that it's a bad idea, and I do think it's gonna set a precedent that OP is gonna be hard to combat later in the future. And I agree with them that maybe proposing before the vacation would be a good idea, but I don't understand, like, because it sounds like OP's fine with the mom coming along as long as it isn't meant for the engagement, right?
Right, but I think that there's a deeper issue here because OP has already seen that he always chooses his mom's word. What if you were to have kids? He's going to be co-parenting with his mom because your word doesn't mean anything compared to his mom.
That's the big issue.
You're always going to be overruled in your marriage and in your child rearing and in everything.
Yeah, so it's a really unfortunate situation. I just hope that OP can kind of see clearly what's going on here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is an update. Final update, will I be the jerk if I move out of our apartment knowing that my fiance and his mom can't afford it without me? I moved out. Amber, do you want to summarize?
Yeah, so basically OP was living with her fiance and he's like, oh, hey, can my mom stay with us for a little while? Well, she was supposed to get a teaching job, but a little while she didn't, and a little while turned into months. And basically, she was running the show, and OP was sick and tired of it. So finally, she moved out, knowing that he wouldn't be able to finance it without her income. And so, basically,
yeah, well, and also like the mom was treating OP pretty badly.
yeah, she was treating OP like this was her son's place, and OP was just a leech, even though OP was paying the lion's share of the rent.
And the husband at the time wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah,
about
the
that.
fiance did not. The mom was in the dark about who was actually paying the bills.
Yeah, so a bit of a situation. I haven't posted here because honestly, there hasn't been any real drama or updates since my last post. But I've had several people DM me asking for updates, so I thought that I would let everyone know everything and how it turned out. If you haven't seen it, you can find the history in my profile. After I moved out of my ex and I's place, I did end up going to visit my parents for a little while. It was really just to give the girl whose lease I was taking over space to get her stuff packed up and moved out. It was great to visit with my parents, and they were really supportive about everything and the choices that I made. Mom and I spent the whole Sunday afternoon on the couch watching awful Hallmark movies while Dad fed us way too many mojitos. I've been living with my friend for about 4 months, and everything has been going great. I feel like we're both super respectful and considerate of each other, and it's made everything so easy and chill. After dealing with my ex's mom for so long, it was kind of a shock not to have all this drama and toxicity. I did hear from my ex's mom 3 times after I moved out. The first time, she texted me to ask if I had taken the air fryer. I did, it was mine. And then she texted me a couple of weeks later asking me to give her a ride to the pharmacy to pick up her prescriptions. And then she texted one last time telling me that I needed to pay my portion of the utilities for the last month that I lived there. I ignored her the first 2 times, and then the last time responded that she should either use the money that she saved while I was covering her rent, or use the money that they get back from the security deposit. It has been crickets ever since. I did see my ex one last time about 6 weeks ago. He found some of my old stuff that I had accidentally left behind, so we met up so that he could give it to me. I was glad that we met up because it convinced me that I had done the right thing. I don't feel anything when I saw him except for relief that I didn't have to deal with his mom anymore. He asked if I would be willing to give it another try if he put boundaries in place with his mom. I was honest and I told him that I didn't see him in that way anymore and didn't want to get back together. He looked like he expected that answer and didn't make a fuss. He did say that after I left, stuff with his mom did get pretty tense. I guess things were tight financially, which I knew would happen, and she was upset that due to his job, he couldn't drive her around and cater to her needs. He said that she ended up moving back to their hometown in the beginning of May, which was the final month of the lease. He said that he was going to move back once the lease was up because his friends were all in the middle of leases already and had roommates. He didn't want to live with a stranger, and the only apartments that he could afford on his own were studios in really sketchy areas. So he's going back home and live with his dad. He didn't have a job there yet, but he figured it was the safest option. He's got an MBA and almost a couple of years of work experience since graduating, so he's hoping that it'll help him find a new job pretty reasonably quickly. I kind of feel bad for him because he loves it here and his hometown isn't awesome. I didn't feel that bad though because it's really his own fault that everything ended up this way. He didn't say how or what his mom was doing, and I didn't ask. I haven't seen or heard from him since then, and I made it pretty clear that I wasn't interested in trying again, so I don't want to be friends, as I don't need the drama. Well, I've been on a couple of casual dates, but really I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm just hanging out with friends, taking advantage of the summer, going hiking and stuff like that. I've spent some time reflecting on everything. I think that if I had been more vocal early on and stood up for myself, insisted that she pay rent, and not let her overstay, that maybe this could all have been avoided. But I'm glad that I don't have to deal with her anymore, so I'm content with how everything ended up. Cheers and be well. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I'm glad that things are going well for OP and that she finally has a space where she feels comfortable and not stressed all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's really important, where you can live in a place and not feel stressed out by it and not feel like OP looks at their ex and feels relief that they don't have to deal with the mom anymore, right? That's not a good or healthy place to be mentally. She was apparently dealing with a lot, and it just got to her, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad in the end that everything's worked out well though for them. And I mean, it's always unfortunate when a relationship ends badly like this, right? But I mean, I'm glad that OP is, doing well for themselves and able to continue doing what they do. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the man ask NASA to investigate his girlfriend?
Well, probably because men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and so basically she's an alien, a Venusian, and so he needed some quick, dirty research done on them, and so they captured her, and then they started doing scientific experiments on her. Really not very great. There was no, ethical board involved in this either, so it's just kind of like a nightmare scenario. Not good.
Because he thought she was out of this world.
She was out of this world. She was a Venusian. We just established that.
And it's World UFO Day and also Lasagna Awareness Month.
Oh, if you weren't aware of lasagna, do I have some news for you? You can make a cake out of bread and cheese and eat it, and it's acceptable. I don't know how and I don't know why, but you can.
I'm not asking questions. I'm just gonna fill my belly.
And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy wonderful Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a haiku for Haiku Wednesday.
Proposal should be centered around the couple, not anyone else.
I like it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!